Hi, my name is Natalie Barbu and I am a YouTuber, content creator, podcaster, and small business owner, and I'm here to talk to you guys for Thinking Huts about the power of education. I believe in the power of education, and I do think that growing up in the United States, I always took it for granted. In the United States, we have access to free education. A lot of people don't realize how big of a privilege that is to have access to free education from the time you are in kindergarten to the time that you are ready to graduate high school. So many other countries around the globe do not have the same privilege and do not have easy access to education. And I believe that this access to education is not something that should be taken lightly. And just think about this. 420 million people would be lifted out of poverty if they had access to a secondary education. That is such a large number. And I hope that it is eye-opening for so many of you. Education means opportunity. It allows access for opportunity. Thinking Huts is doing such a great job at starting the work to make education more accessible for more people. Without access to education, I would not be where I am today. I completely recognize the privilege that I have, and as many of you guys watching probably also have had. Ask yourself if you would be where you are today without it. I would not be a small business owner without it. I would not have thought to start my YouTube channel. I would not have had access to the internet where I could let my creativity flourish. There are so many opportunities that education brings that we might not even think about because we're just so used to having it accessible, but there are so many children out there that don't have that same opportunity, that do not have that same privilege. Just ask yourself that simple question of, would you be where you are today if you do not have the access to education that you have now? There are so many children left without it because of riots, violence, disease, the poverty, overcrowding, and I am really happy that Thinking Huts is starting to do something to change that. Whenever I look back on my own life, going to school from kindergarten through 12th grade was pivotal years for me. I learned so much about myself, but I also learned and realized the power that we have in knowledge. Opportunity has been presented to me throughout my entire education, and to think that so many children, hundreds of millions of children around the globe, do not have those same opportunities just because of where they live really breaks my heart. As a business owner and technically an influencer, I do feel like it is important for me to acknowledge my privilege, to recognize it, and then to try to create opportunities for others who are not as fortunate and who are not as privileged as I am. It was not long ago that women were not allowed to be in schools either. Without that, I 100% would not be where I am today. Just thinking about generations that are not able to have access to education really should inspire you guys to want to make some change. We have the opportunity to close the global opportunity gap. We can encourage students to think beyond their limitations. And through that, we can also encourage innovation. I truly believe in this, and I'm really happy that Thinking Huts is starting this initiative and creating a way for students to have access to an education which we all deserve. I hope that this is eye-opening for you, realizing how many hundreds of millions of students do not have the same opportunities as you might have growing up. And I hope that you realize the immense amount of privilege that you have and the chance that you do have an opportunity to change that for future children. Thanks.